Hello, Ian here from Dark Blaze Workshop. Welcome back to another video. This is a quick tutorial on how I do my sandy bases. It also fits in with a Tatooine themed army as well. Okay, here's my Stormtrooper with the sandy base. So I use a pumice gel, but we'll come on to that in a minute. But you can just use PVA glue, sprinkle glue on it and just leave it to set. But I quite like this pumice gel. I've used it quite a bit now, and I think it gives a nicer finish. But that's just me. You might not agree. So let's move on to the ingredients. Zandri dust is the colour we're going to use because we can mix that in with the gel. This was sent to me by a friend of mine's a Prezi. You can actually get different grades. I think it goes up to I can't remember, but anyway, we've got the fine one. Coarse, and I think there's an extra coarse maybe as well. So it looks like that. Pretty disgusting, but the main thing is it's an acrylic medium, so you can water it down, but I think it would be more useful if you used an acrylic medium from say Winsor and Newton or something like that. Obviously need a receptacle for your medium. That's if you did want it to water it down, but it's fine as is because it's quite fine, as it says on the tin. I'll sprinkle a little bit of sand on it. Well, just a wee bit of medium. It's just stuff I keep at the side of my painting desk. There's a couple of blobs, and we'll get some Zandri dust as well. I'm just going to take it out the top of the pot. Don't need too much, less than a drop paint. Mix it in. As you can see, I'm using a makeup brush. This will probably destroy your brush, so it's good if you get these off eBay. They're £5 for a set of 20, and they're brilliant for dry brushing as well. So there we are, we've got our texture ready to go. Just grab your base. A great technique to it, just slap it on. You don't have to worry about priming it, it will stick. And the trick is to get like an even coat, then you can actually sculpt if you want ripples in the sand, or if you want one part a little uneven compared to the rest, or just have it smooth. That's what you can't do with the PVA, by the way. PVA will dry flat. This will dry exactly as you leave it. It will shrink a little bit, but it's not noticeable. So I'll spend a bit of time to try and get it as you want it. I don't want little peaks in it, I'll just little depressions in it, like footprints and stuff like that. And that should do. The thing I finish off with is a little sprinkle of sand on top then as well. Not too much, just a wee bit, just add a little bit of texture on the top. So there we go, just leave that to dry, and we'll come back when that's ready. So I'll show you a cheeky little trick that I've got for my bases where I've got pinned minis. I'll pull them out. Just clip the pin so so it's going to fit through the base. It's about that deep, isn't it? I'll measure where it sits on the base, make sure it's fairly central, and I need to drill a hole for the pin. So I reckon about there. And what I'll do is I'll drill a hole through, and I'll test the fit to make sure the pin will sit in there properly. The mini. Yeah, that's good. He's not gonna, yeah. Pin's not too long, that's good. Right, so what I'll do then is get a spare pin or a paper clip. I'll stick it in the base. If I can get a paper clip, that is. So I'll remove the mini, put him somewhere, so I'll put him back on the cork so he's sitting there. I'll put the paper clip through, and then I'll apply the basing material. Onto the base. For some reason I've got a huge rock in there. Don't know where that's come from. Must have been in the sand. And once I get this sorted, to how I want the sand sitting, I'll put the mini back on the base, and then it'll sit in. It'll look like, you know, he's sinking into the sand, because I don't like the look of, you know, when you do a miniature that's painted and he's actually standing on top of the sand. It just doesn't look right. He's going to sink into it somehow, isn't he? Even just a little bit. So that's all sorted, I think. So you remove the pin. What a disaster. Oh dear me. It's good to see these things, you know. Nothing ever goes to plan, you know. Let's put the pin back in while we sort it out. Luckily there's not too much damage. Right, I'm going to keep a better hold of it this time. All sticky now. Take it that edge. So we've got the pinhole. I'll clean my hand quickly. And we'll get the miniature. And that'll sit nicely on the base. And 9 times out of 10 it won't need gluing, because it's an acrylic paste. It actually acts as an adhesive, so it saves on super glue too. Okay, so after 24 hours we have a dark sandy base. So the next stage is to just give it a coat of the Tattoine sand again. Because of the sand we sprinkled on the top, just want to make sure everything's a uniform colour before we start the painting process. Just make sure you get everything same colour to start with. Let's leave that dry. So the first stage is going to be with Vallejo's dark sand. So I've got a dark sand on the palette and I've got my trusty makeup brush. A bit more on that. And for a bit more variation, so there's a dark sand one and there's the pale sand next to it. So you guessed it, pale sand is coming up. I'm going to put that on the palette next to the dark sand, and if you're fussy you can mix the two together to get a 50-50, or if you want to go straight on with the pale sand, crack on. So I've gone a 50-50. You can see the difference there on the towel. Doesn't make a huge difference, I don't think, but I'm fussy. I like dry brushing. So stage done, so I'll go on to the pale sand on its own now. And I'm just going to stipple this on and leave some areas, the previous colours. Next up is some pigments. This one's my favourite one to give a totally different change in tone on the desert. So that's my favourite one. But sometimes I use that one just to mix things up a bit. But we'll go with the green one this time. I'll get my trusty pigment box. So that's the green one. And that's the dusty, deserty one. And I'm just going to apply it at different areas on the base. I don't know why, but I just love the change in colour and hue. I'll go a bit of the deserty, dusty bit in the middle. And that is it. So you got a nice deserty base there. I really like it. But, I don't think the pigments are to everybody's taste, but I think it really gives a nice realistic finish to the sand. You know, it really looks like you're on a dusty planet. So that is that. The only thing you have to do then is obviously paint the side to whatever colour you like using. I like a dark blue grey or a dark grey on the sides. Used to do black, but I think it was too dark and too much of a contrast. See that? Well, you can see now, can't you, with the black and you tone that down with a grey. It looks quite nice. Or you can go browns or even sand. If you wanted to fit them in on your table, it's totally up to you. So that's it. Let me get a couple of stormtroopers and you can see how they look. And there we are, the base that we just finished, and the stormtroopers at the back. Top tip here is to use the same pigments as you use on the base on the lower half of your stormtroopers, and they should, you know, fit in quite nicely to that terrain then. So that's it for me for now. I hope you enjoyed this one. and we'll be back soon with another video on the Inferno squad from Star Wars Legion. That should be in a couple of days' time, I would have thought, once I get everything done. They're coming along nicely. So that's it. Yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.